Well, good evening and welcome. Welcome to our Freshers Friday night social, which is probably going to be a little bit different. There may be some of you that have been to our possibly slightly more serious sessions that we've had this week, where we did the Welcome to the OU on Tuesday, and we did Being a Confident Academic Learner on Thursday, which was only yesterday. It seems ages ago. So tonight is our Friday night social. So we've got a number of different things planned. What we're thinking of is it's a social, but we're talking about hobbies because it's Friday night. We do different things. We do lots of nice, exciting things. So what I've got some lovely guests with me who have different hobbies. So I have got with me Ximena, who does Argentinian tango dancing. I have got who's next? Anne, who does yoga. I have got, I can see Amina has got a study buddy with her waving. Oh, and I've got Lorna, who's got a study buddy who I think has wandered off, or actually she may still be there. Yep, no, there she is, sitting up, looking the other way. And I've got Grace, who is very interested in doing different games. Grace and I talk about games, both computer and board games. And I've also got Vanessa, who's baking, which is definitely not last but not least, because that's the chocolate bit, because there you go, we've got chocolate in already. And I've just seen Meg has just escaped. So just so you know, some of the practicalities of how things work, you'll see that there's the chat. And the chat is where you can interact, and there's lots of things for you to tell us about, which is great fun. And you'll also see there's widgets at different points. So I understand that we have got 64% brand new. I'm getting numbers fed to me at the moment, and 72% studying at level 1, which is fantastic. And 29% of people have not studied for 11 to 20 years. Now, we actually have another guest with us today who I don't think has studied for very long at all. And because it's Friday night, we have got a night with us. And now I'm pretty sure that he hasn't studied much at all. But anyway, he's no studying, no studying from the night. But anyway, so I think those of you. Night school. Okay, he does night school, apparently. Right, fair enough. So those of you that are over 20 years since you've studied, I think you've got a little bit of competition there. So we might have the night is going to be joining us for various different things in the evening. So what I was going to say before the night interrupts me, which he does quite often. So if you're in the chat, it's lovely. You can share a lot. And we've got Raphael and we've got Kat and we've got Jacob helping out in the chat tonight. And so, Jacob, can you tell us some of the things that we've been talking about so far as we've been getting ready? You've done a me, Jacob. Unmute yourself. There you are.
Have I muted myself again?
You have.
I do apologise. That's what happens so late in the week. We've had so much fun during the week getting started, and then I completely forget everything. But Beverly's been sharing some digital chocolate and cake in the chat, which I'm very grateful for. And Raphael, who's joining us in the chat, is actually having a vegan kebab tonight, which sounds absolutely amazing. He needs to share with me where he got this from. We've got a lot of people who are new, which is fantastic. So Laura's joining us from Poole, Charlotte from Carlisle, Theodore from Northampton, studying computing and business. We also have Ethan Tristan, who's a 20-year-old guy from Northern Ireland, and he's starting his biology degree. Rochelle's doing engineering and computing. We're doing psychology. Katie's on a bit of a change of career, going from a mortgage underwriter to something else and using the OU to change. So, yeah, it's fantastic chatting to everyone so far. Do introduce yourself if you're coming in. We want to hear all about you, or just say a quick hello. It's up to you if you want to sit back and just watch and enjoy, or join in the chat. But it's my job just to put your wonderful thoughts and ideas and what's going on into a chat to our lovely guests on screen today. So I look forward to doing that.
Fantastic. Thank you, Jacob. And I understand that the night is proving to be quite popular, which is good. Oh no, he's rattling. He's very excited about the fact he's popular in the background. He gets very giddy. And just so you know, now Jacob did say that this was going to be a relaxed session, but I need to warn you in advance, we're going to be doing a little bit of exercise later. Annie's going to be leading us in some gentle yoga and breathing exercises, and you're going to have to compete with the night because he's going to be joining in as well. So just so you know, all of the things you're doing, he's going to be joining in as well. But anyway, right, so Anne, I'm going to come to you first before we do the exercises, because can you tell us a little bit about, you do yoga. How does it help you? So, because what we want to talk about tonight is hobbies and how it helps us when we're studying. So how does yoga help you studying or in your everyday life and work?
Yes, I've been doing yoga for 19 or 20 years now, and it's been absolutely great. Because of the type of yoga I do, it's a very sort of flowing and kind of therapeutic yoga, and there's a lot in it about awareness of what you're actually doing. And it's a yoga for everyone. So it's kind of like an open university yoga, really, because it's open to everybody. It's not a competitive yoga. You don't need to be really fit to do it, although you can do it if you're really fit. And it's just helped me on and off over the years. At one point, I had a really, really bad back problem, Isabella, which I think I
Mm,
mentioned to you once before.
yeah.
And one of the things that really helped me all those years was doing just yoga in a really, really gentle way, because they're in this yoga that I do called Drew yoga, there are always modifications for people that you maybe can't kneel, or maybe you've got a sore back, or anything at all, really. So yeah, it's been great. And of course, when something stressful happens, that mind body kind of like awareness thing, it's a bit like a moving meditation in some ways, which helps you just calm things down and think, oh yeah, actually it's not so bad.
I think that idea of calmness is very important, because Francesca has said to us she's finding everything very nerve-wracking. So I think that you said to her that actually finding these ways of calming down, particularly when you're starting out, I think that's really important, isn't it, Anne?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. As you know, I'm actually studying myself now at the moment. I'm studying to become a yoga teacher part time. So it's not with the Open University, obviously, that's not something we do. But I totally get this idea of thinking, oh my goodness, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't understand what's happening. I've got an assignment due. How do I do it? In fact, I've got an assignment due next week. So I've got to kind of be kind of, ooh, feeling. So I totally get that. And I actually do the yoga to help me calm down because of the yoga
Yeah.
assignment, which is kind of a bit weird, but there we go.
Yeah, that sounds good, because so Laura's actually saying she'd love to do it, but she thinks he's a bit too competitive. So I think hopefully we'll give her some good ideas later, and maybe not being too competitive. Oh, okay. The knight is apparently saying he's competitive. So there you go, Laura, and he wants to compete with the people about doing the things. So okay, and right. So that's we're being told, everybody. We're being told that actually sometimes being competitive is important, sometimes it's not. But we're not about being competitive, are we, Anne? Even if Mr. Knight in the background is. So
Well, I mean, for yoga, it's all about doing what your body can do at that time
yeah.
and what your mind can do as well. And it's not good if you're in a yoga class and you feel like you've got to kind of stretch yourself right the same way as someone else when your body doesn't do it. So it's quite nice not to have to do that.
Yeah, I think that sounds quite good. So we've got a widget for everybody of what do you think, what would your ideal hobby be? So now Anne's told us about essentially her ideal hobby, which helps her to calm down. Mr. Knight told you about his, well, not quite his ideal hobby, but the idea of calming
Mm.
down, I don't think necessarily works for him. So we're going to put that widget up for you to say what you think your ideal hobby would be. Now, it's a word cloud. So the way practically you need to do that, you can enter 3 words. If you've only got one, then you can just put a dot or a space for the other. I think it's a dot for the other 2. Otherwise, it won't go through. And we'll come back to that a little bit later. So thank you, Anne. We're also going to come back to you a little bit later as well. So Jacob, what kind of things have been going on while we've been having this little bit of a dichotomy between Anne calming us down and Mr. Knight trying to rev us up again?
Well, I am slightly curious about how yoga can be competitive. So I'd be interested to see some competitive yoga. That sounds actually quite fun. But Rochelle's saying, I enjoy doing many things, not least of them playing board and card games with my siblings or playing the piano to unwind. Rochelle says, I would, however, have to say my favourite hobby is reading. I seriously lose track of time when I read, and lots of people in the chat
Yeah.
agreed. Isn't it a great way just to let your mind wander,
Oh,
forget about
absolutely.
everything else that's going on? TMA deadlines don't matter when you're reading, do they?
Yeah,
Janine,
no, maybe they do. Maybe they do, but we can read and do TMA deadlines. So we just want to put that little bit in there, okay? Sorry, Jacob,
yeah,
carry on.
maybe. Janine agrees. She loves reading too and listening to audiobooks while going out for a nice long walk. That sounds really good. Judita has recently come back from playing the piano after almost 15 years. That sounds something great to get back into. And Hannah's got loads of hobbies. She did ask if you could have too many hobbies, but absolutely not. I think whatever you enjoy, isn't it? So Hannah loves quilting, sewing, walking, reading, playing any kind of board games, baking, cooking, gardening, eating and drinking. The eating is probably one of my favorite
Oh gosh,
hobbies.
yeah,
But
absolutely.
yeah, there's lots of hobbies in the chat. And while we're on this point, actually, if you do have lots of hobbies, there are some really good student groups with the student association where you can meet
Good
up with
point.
other people that like doing the same thing. So there's loads of groups around crafting, sci-fi, films, all these types of things. I'll post a link in the chat, but have a look. But keep on sharing your hobbies because it might give some others some ideas about
Yeah.
what they could take up to relax while they're studying.
Fantastic. Yeah, because that's what we're talking about. This is a social, so we're talking about hobbies, but we are part of the Open University. It's part of our Freshers Week, getting you used. But yeah, so we asked you about the widget, and apparently it's ready to go. You've been adding things. Oh, look, walking and reading coming in. Let's have a look. Reading books, excellent. Face painting. Oh, that's exciting. Gardening. Oh, yeah, I'm good with that one. Where are all these people? Oh, video games. There you go, Grace. There's one for you as well.
My
And
people.
gardening's one for me. Yeah, we've had lots of your people because we had lots of board games, haven't we? We love board games. Grace and I like talking about board games
We
quite a
talk
lot.
so long.
It's fab. Oh, movies. Oh, I'm definitely on them with the movies. I don't have a dog, but I like the walking. Oh, we've got gaming, so we've got video gaming and gaming coming up quite a few times, and swimming and being sociable. That's actually a lovely one, isn't it? Being social. Oh, we've got yoga. There you go, Anne. We've got other people doing yoga.
Excellent.
Have we got anybody doing dancing? I'm just trying to see. Have we got anybody doing baking either? I'm just having a look. My eyesight's not working very well. Sorry, that's why I'm staring at the screen. It makes me look really weird, doesn't it? I'm just reading the widget. Anyway, so that's
I like
lovely,
the
and it's
fact that
great
there's
to know.
horse riding.
There is. It's good, isn't it? I mean,
Yeah,
that's exciting.
cool.
I actually don't know. Maybe Mr. Knight. Mr. Knight what do you think about horse riding? Is that something you'd want to do? Oh, yeah, Mr. Knight. Maybe horse riding, but just can't quite fit a horse in at the moment. Okay, that's fine. Okay, just so we know. Oh, the horse is out the back. The horse is out the back having a drink. Okay, fine. Right, there you go. That's a bit worrying because I'm not quite sure that that gardening bit. I don't think I'm due a horse in my garden. I'm a bit worried about that one. Anyway, but no. My garden, not your garden. My garden. No. My garden. No, not your garden. No, not your garden. We're not being competitive about the garden. My garden, okay? Oh, okay, nice having a smunk. Okay, he's having a bit of a mood now because it's it's not his garden. Oh, okay. Right, fair enough. Okay, so we were talking about different exercise things. So Anne's mentioned about her yoga. So possibly slightly more energetic exercise is Ximena, who does Argentinian tango dancing. So Ximena, can you tell us a little bit about that? It just sounds so exciting to me.
Hi, everyone. Hello from South America, from Ecuador at the moment. I'm enjoying my holidays and I'll be back in Ireland next week. Tango dancing has given me so much, and it falls in line with what Anne was saying, that it's a relaxing hobby. And in fact, tango dancing is called yoga for two, because as you know, it takes two to tango. You have to dance with another person, and it is fantastic for your motor skills, for your posture, for your elegance, for your breathing, listening to music at the same time, working with other people, but most of all, concentrating on your balance, because having a good balance in tango helps, but also having a good balance in life and in studies and everything helps a lot. So it's a fantastic hobby.
That was a seamless link there, wasn't it? About balancing life and study and hobbies. Oh, Ximena, that was fantastic. I'm very impressed. So that sounds great. So, I mean, I don't know. Sometimes I'm okay at balance, but I get a bit worried. So what happens? Do you get this whole swinging around thing? Is that the kind of dancing you do where you get to swing around on high heels and things? Or am I got completely the wrong idea?
You don't swing around. You walk with elegance. You turn with elegance. You project your feelings with elegance. So basically, it really falls into place with what you're doing with your studies. You're determined to get to a place. You're determined to get to a goal, and that's what you do in tango. And you're determined to dance with a specific person. So you have to communicate non-verbally.
Okay, so with your dancing, I know often in dancing there's high heels. So the knight's got a suggestion about his potential shoes. Now he wants to know: are these the kind of shoes that would be useful for dancing?
I can
Oh,
show what I'm wearing.
we can see yours. So
These are my high
let's have a
heels.
compare. So Ximena's got so let's have a look at the knight's shoes, shall we? Should we see whether we think that they're going to be suitable? Do you
Kind
think they're going to
of.
match? Kind of. Do you
Not
think they
really,
go with his
because you need
outfit?
to have a good hold.
Oh, okay. No, not suitable.
Oh.
Not suitable. No.
No,
Okay.
no, night. No,
Oh
no,
no. And
sorry.
okay. Knight's having another smunk now because you rejected his shoes. I thought you said it was about bit nice and being nice and joining in, Ximena, and you've rejected his shoes. Oh no.
You need to have the
Anyway.
proper shoes.
You need to have the proper shoes. Okay, so you've got the proper shoes. He hasn't got the proper shoes, so that's part of it. Okay, fair enough. We like the idea, but I'm just going to. I'll rein back in the night and be a bit more sensible. So I like the idea this idea of the balance and things, and the balance between things. I know when we were talking about this, you said it really helped you with multitasking. Now, everybody that's just starting off will be seeing that they've got so much information. They'll be thinking, "Goodness me, how can I manage all these different things?" So how does the tango dancing help you with multitasking?
It helps because you have to concentrate on many different things. You have to listen to your partner, you have to listen to the music, you have to remember the steps. But most of all, the one key element is the pauses and the breathing. So when you're studying, you need to pause.
Yeah.
You need to get back to your center, like in tango, and then decide what you want to do next. So that's the bit of multitasking that not only doing the tasks, but also taking pauses is very important in tango dancing and in studying and in life.
Yeah, so I think normally when I'm being more sensible in the other events, I do talk about study journeys quite a lot. So I'm going to mention that now. And I think it is actually we're all on a study journey. Many people who come along tonight for freshers, they're just starting out on their study journey. I know, Ximena, because you told me, and I was amazed that you've done all sorts of different study, and you're great. You are great at languages. So what number language are you up to now?
I'm studying my 10th language, which is Arabic.
That's amazing.
And part of what I do in the tango dancing is connected with my languages. So I travel around the world dancing in different festivals and doing classes with international teachers. And I communicate with people from many different countries in all the languages I've studied. So I combine it very well. It's a perfect match.
That sounds really good. I think this idea of being able to communicate with different people. We were talking about communication actually in our session yesterday when I'm being a bit more sensible, and we were saying that in study, when you're going through the study journey, that communication is really important. Now it is really, isn't it? Okay, we're not talking about having to learn your 10th different language, but we've actually got a number of students where English isn't their first language. Now I think I'm right in saying, English is your first language, or is it not your first language?
No, you can hear from my accent that Spanish is my first language, and I learned English when I was a teenager through singing the Beatles songs. I didn't know what they meant. I just learned them by learning the phonetics of the songs, and I sang them very well, but I didn't know what they meant.
Yeah, so I'm trying to think. Yeah, I probably don't want to go down the line of thinking about what some of those might be, but that's a really interesting way of learning things. So thank you, Ximena. That's been really useful to know. So I'm just going to come back to Jacob now. Ximena's been talking about balance. We've been having some sensible conversations, some unsensible ones. What's going on in the chat? Are we being sensible, or are we being a little bit silly tonight?
Well, there's always a mix in the chat. What are you going to do? It's just how it is. But that's what we like. So anything goes in the chat. But a lot of us are just simply amazed that Ximena's 10 languages. Ethan, Francesca, Raphael, Holly all say it's such an amazing thing. And it just goes to show that, we all have our own skills. And when we find out what they are and put them to good use, it's just amazing how far we can go. But we've also been talking about dancing as well. So Boss was a professional dancer and used to do tap, ballet, modern, mostly on stage, West End and panto. So that's absolutely amazing. I was saying in the chat, I tried a little bit of the Charleston last year, and oh my word, that's a bit of a workout. I'm not sure I'll go back to that anytime soon. It's not something to do in the summer when you're railing. We've been talking about our hobbies as well. So Helena loves playing video games. Melissa likes to make models. I'm sure we'd love to see a picture of them to tweet us at Student Hub Live or send a picture studenthub@open.ac.uk. We'd love to see your models. Luce reading books, walking. Rianne likes reading, watching fiction, creative writing and crafting. And Alex, I have to say this is absolutely brilliant. I couldn't contain myself. This is the type of person I am, though. Alex asks us, why do dragons sleep during the day? What do you reckon?
Why do dragons sleep during the day?
Why do they sleep during?
I don't know.
Because they fight knights, of course.
Oh, because they fight
my
night. Oh,
God.
dear.
All right, I'm done.
Dear. Okay.
We
No,
can go away from me.
I think that's possibly
amazing.
coming towards Alex. Now, I'm curious, is this Alex who keeps trying to persuade us that white chocolate should be allowed, which is just no. There is an Alex who often comes to Student Hub Live who we have a little bit of a discussion about white chocolate, but no. So thank you, Jacob. That's great. So Vanessa, I'm going to come to Vanessa next because Vanessa, I'm sure you won't mind me saying you're also, English isn't your first language. In fact, I've never known. Is it your second or your third language?
I speak English. Portuguese is my I was born in Brazil, so my first language is Portuguese, but I can speak Italian and Spanish. So it's
Lovely.
not 10.
So thank you. Not 10. No. Well, we're not. Remember, we weren't being competitive. It was only Mr. Knight that was being competitive. But everybody else was trying to be more relaxed about this. So Vanessa is going to talk to us about cakes and baking because that's your favourite hobby, isn't it, Vanessa? And
I think
we
it should be
actually
everyone's favorite hobby.
I know. Well, the eating of the cake should be. And I think actually Mr. Knight's got some cake in the background and he was going to see whether he could. Is this your favoured way of trying to eat cake like this, Vanessa? Do you think this is a sensible way of trying to eat cake?
I think he should be a little careful with this little knife.
Okay, I know.
Yeah.
I'm slightly worried. Yeah, no, I'm not quite sure how that's going to go. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Right. Maybe we're not going to do cake. Yeah, you got it. Yeah. Okay. So this is thumbs up to the night. Yeah. Okay. He thinks it's quite encouraging. But anyway, we'll yeah. He's got a clap. No. If you clap him, it will go right to his head, and he's just going to get really, really, really unbearable. There we go. I think that's him taking a bow. Okay. Fair enough. Yeah. There you go. Anyway, so we've actually got another widget for you. So Vanessa kindly sent us through a number of her photos of her cakes. So you should see another widget which allows you to vote on which one of those cakes you think looks well, I don't know whether it's the nicest or the tastiest. Now Vanessa's going to be really worried because she's really attached to her cakes. So you should see that widget come up. We'll come back to it a little bit later. But so we've heard from Anne about getting nice and relaxed. We've heard from Ximena about the sort of the pause. Now baking, does baking help you pause and relax, or does it G you up? How does baking help you as a hobby?
I think it cheers me up. It's not like a relaxing thing for me. It's more cheering me up. It helps me to exercise my creativity. I also think my organization skills, planning. So it helps me a lot. I love lists. I love things organized. So kind of baking really helps me with that.
Yeah.
And you can also eat the cakes.
Oh yeah, well, eating the cake has got to be definitely the best bit of it. But I remember you telling me you don't always eat your cakes. I mean, what's that about? Why on earth would you not eat them?
Do you know, I think because I spent
Knight
so
doesn't
much
understand.
time.
He doesn't understand why you wouldn't eat a cake. No, he doesn't understand at all.
No, in my defense, I think I spent so much time baking and thinking about it and building it that when it's time to eat it, I'm just, no. So but I like seeing people eating my cakes. I love to make people happy. So
I think
love
Jacob's going, no, I want to just eat the cakes in the background. I can hear him say, no, just give me the cakes. I don't want the pictures. What does
my
Meg
neighbors are
think, actually?
really lucky.
They're lucky because they give them.
Really?
So I'm just thinking, I can see Meg in the background. Would Meg be the one? Is she allowed to eat cake, Lorna, or not?
She would try to eat cake given half a chance. We tend not to have much cake in the house. It's terrible. So she's deprived. Poor deprived dog.
Poor girl.
Oh,
Say,
she's
Meg.
so majestic.
So can she see the screen? Can we show her some of the cakes? So if we show on the screen some of these cakes in nice big pictures, let's see whether or not
Can you
she
see?
does any.
Meg, what's that? Can you see that?
What do you think of that
What's
one,
that?
Meg? Can you see the picture of the cake?
Oh,
I can see Meg looking quite.
Did you see? What's
I can
Cake?
see that the knight in the background is trying to grab the cake through the screen as well, which is doesn't necessarily work. But don't think he understands
Oh,
modern
these are
technology.
amazing.
But look at them; they do look fabulous, don't they? So apparently it's neck and
me
neck
too.
between
Wow.
cakes B and D. Now I can't remember which letters I put them in as originally, so I don't know which is B and D. But if you are
Very elegant.
D is the bright pink one. Okay, I'm being told, and B is the strawberry one. Okay, so we're looking at B at the moment, and D is the pink
Just
one.
looking
So
at Jacob.
Do you know this is funny?
Jacob's
because
got his
this-
own. Jacob's got his own cake. Oh, can we show your cake, Jacob? Jacob also feels a little bit left out. He's got his own cake. Come on, let's show
proud.
Jacob and his cake. Does
Yeah, be
anybody
proud,
want to
be
vote for
proud.
This is
Jacob's
my
cake?
cake.
Jacob's cake.
I'm very proud of it. And then I saw Vanessa's lineup.
Anyway,
So I'm not. Mine.
Is it?
No, it's not. It doesn't have the same. It looks more like a big pancake than like if you
does.
compared to Vanessa. I'm gonna have to ask
The
Vanessa
night-
from Tips on my
I think
cake.
if it tastes good, it'll be fine. Like,
Yeah.
be
absolutely.
proud of what you make.
I like it.
Absolutely, yeah.
I'm gonna
I mean,
be proud.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Mr. Knight agrees with that, even though he still can do it. And Amina's got a study buddy to have a look at the cakes as well. No, I think she's more interested in your ear than the cake at the moment, Amina. So we'll come back. So are we ready to get the final results of the cake? Is it ready? I don't know. I'm trying to see. Yeah, it is ready. So we're having a drum roll in the background. Does a drum roll? And wow! Oh, it was even Steven between the strawberry cake and the pink cake.
Interesting.
And do you know, I'm
Yeah, isn't it?
surprised because cake B, I think it was one of the first cakes that I ever made.
Really?
And if you look closer, you will see that it's not perfect. inside was good, but it was one of
Inside
my
was
first
good, okay.
attempts. Yeah, we ate it anyway. But yeah, so I'm surprised.
We've had the question. Maybe cake A had the least number of votes because it was the smallest cake. So we clearly decide that actually size is quite important when it comes to cakes as well.
How can you tell the size? Is all I can say.
Well,
It's a
true,
short
absolutely,
cake.
Grace.
It's a short.
cake,
I see.
yeah.
So like the height, the lack of
Okay.
height. I see.
Yeah.
We like
but
it looks like we like elaborate cakes.
I must say, like the flower
Okay.
type one was insane. It's so cool.
That's gorgeous.
So that
Oh,
was
thank
the
you.
joint winner. So that is really good now, and Knight is very impressed with that. So I know that we've got Anne now ready because we've been talking about cake, and it's just try and stop Jacob eating his cake now. Anne is going to lead us in some exercises. So Anne, do you want to explain what you'd like people to do?
Yes, definitely. So Isabella and I had a conversation about yoga while the kettle boils, and this is an basically it's kind of like you do something while you're just like waiting for the kettle to boil, or you're taking a 2-minute break, or a 1-minute break, or even a 5-minute break from your studying, and you just need that wee bit of a break. So I thought I would start doing some things just to show you, just 2 or 3 things that you could do. You could do them all, or you could do one of them. And you can do this if you're sitting in a chair. If you can get out of your chair, it's quite good because then you can get the whole body moving. But you can do it sitting in a chair. So I'm hoping the knight is going to join in here. So you see, I'm just starting to just shake my wrists. I'm shaking my wrists.
Ready.
Right.
He's shaking his
Okay,
wrists.
so we shake our wrists and then into our elbows and into our elbows.
Oh,
if you're sitting in a chair with arms, just be really careful that you don't bang your elbows off the arms of the chair.
Yep.
And then up into the shoulders. And actually, you know what I was talking about? Awareness. Have a think about what that's doing. See if you can focus on your shoulders. Can you feel those shoulders, Knight? You're doing well, Knight. The Knight is doing great. The Knight is doing great.
The Knight is doing great.
Actually, now we're going to do something exciting. We're going to keep our arms moving, and we're going to start moving one of our legs. Okay. So
well,
if you're sitting down and you're going to fall over, put your hand on the chair or your desk or the wall, and basically shake. So, you see, if you can do this, you can do tango dancing. What do you think, Ximena? There's a bit of balance.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Move to the other side and give it a wee shake. I'll go back so you can see my ankle. There we go. Wobble that ankle around. And then the knee. Just be careful with the knee. Don't move it about back and forward because it's not meant to do anything like that. And then round and back. And if you're going to fall over, you know what?
Sound effect, which is always funny.
It's not too bad if you start feeling like you're going to wobble and fall over because it's giving a lot of strength and building up the strength in that leg. So that's good.
Are you sure, Anne? Are you sure?
Not on high heels.
Once you've done a little bit of shaking,
right.
You might think, I'm a bit stiff around my shoulders because I've been studying at my desk all day. So we're going to do some shoulder scoots. So you just shoulder up, round and back.
Shoulder up,
round and back. There we go. And then we'll just alternate them. And just feel into that shoulder. Yep. Can you feel those shoulders? It's loosening them all up. Yeah, and get the elbows into it. And just keep those joints really nice and soft. And you could start kind of like wiggling around with your knees as well if you want. And
you know what?
Bring the whole arm in. Bring the whole arm in. Feel as if you're wrapping your arm around a beach ball. Yeah? So we've got these lovely beach balls. Oh, we were on the beach doing this. Wouldn't that be nice?
I don't know. This whole beach. This beach ball thing.
So, just keep them
nice one out.
Nice. Okay, right. Another thing I thought we might do, and this is really nice for your spine. You know, you can kind of think of your spine a bit like a corkscrew. So we're going to kind of corkscrew our spine. So what I want you to do is to make sure your feet are below your knees or below your hips. Don't have them away out there.
Okay.
And don't have them away in here. Just get yourself all nicely lined up. And then...
No, feet together. The Knight's getting very confused. He saw you putting your legs out and he thought he was supposed to do it. And he said, stop, trousers.
Nice.
It's a problem. No, feet together.
So we're going to do a twist.
Okay. Twist.
We're going to do a twist starting from the hips. And we're going to just turn and turn. And see these arms? Just let them wrap around your body. And you can actually feel your arms kind of pulling away from your shoulders. And if you want to, you can turn your head round as well if it doesn't make you feel dizzy. And that's a nice little stretch for your neck. And you can feel it working all the way up your spine. And this is actually a really nice one to do. I have to say, I'm forever doing this while I'm waiting for the kettle to boil because it just kind of loosens everything off. So and you can actually make this really energetic if you want. If you're wanting to build up your strength
really energetic.
Tango, you can make it really energetic by doing this.
No. I foresee
We'll keep it on the calm side. We'll keep it on the calm side, and we'll just slow down. And just to do one last thing for the calm side, we're going to do a little bit of breathing. Now, this is something that's quite nice if you're just sort of thinking, oh, I'm running out of energy. I've been at my desk all day, and now I've got this thing to do. So while the kettle's boiling and you're just waiting to kind of like get your motivation going, or perhaps when you're feeling a bit, I've got a TMA due, I've got to do something, you can do this breath. So again, line your feet up, your feet to your knees and your hips, and kind of gently soften your knees and tuck your tail in. Just tuck it in just a little bit. And then what we're going to do is cross one arm over the other, and we're going to breathe in as we effectively take off an imaginary jumper. Everybody got that jumper off?
Oh,
and
take
then
jump
just
off.
about.
Okay.
If you remember which arm was in front, you can swap the arms in front.
Welcome. Swap the other way
do you
around.
see I'm bending my knees on the way down as well?
Bending
So
your
it's
knees.
taking a little bit of strengthening.
I'm cheating
And
because I'm sitting
once you
down
get the
with this.
hang of it, once you get the hang of it, you can breathe in and then breathe out. And breathe in as you're going up. And you can even shut your eyes while you're doing this. And as a sort of lovely thing to just think about, a little bit of visualization, you can imagine that you're wrapping yourself around in a big bubble of energy. And you can go, and a big bubble of energy. Or if you're feeling a wee bit anxious, you can kind of wrap yourself around in a big bubble of calm. And the way to do this, I know visualization isn't for everyone, and in many ways it's not for me, but I like this one because I can close my eyes and just think that I'm just putting myself in a big bubble of calm or a big bubble of energy. And if you go faster or slower, depending on what you need today, then you can make yourself really revved up for your next bit of studying, or you can just calm yourself down so that you can manage it. And I've probably overrun my time there, Isabella.
No, not at all. That has been brilliant. Obviously, there were lots and lots of sound effects in the background. Oh, crumbs, and I think everything's just falling down.
Night falling over.
Everything's just having a bit of a crisis in the background. Everything fell down because I think he had relaxed a bit, and therefore he dropped everything. But
no.
Thank you, Anne. That was
too much relaxing for nights is not good. Nights must stay upright.
Nights
always vigilant.
Absolutely. Yeah, always vigilant. Yes, good point, Grace. Nights have to be vigilant. Right, okay, Night, you need to be waking up again. So brilliant. Thank you, Anne. That's really helpful. We were taking it seriously, even if we sounded slightly silly in the background with some of the sound effects.
Well,
but I think
there's no reason that yoga can't be lots of fun.
No, absolutely. And Charlotte said it's so much fun. She was really enjoying it along the way. It was pointed out that you shouldn't eat cake at the same time as doing exercise. I did get quite excited at one point, Anne, where you said about visualizing, because I was visualizing chocolate, and then you said visualizing a bubble of calm, and I was like, no, I'm visualizing chocolate.
Well, Isabella, I think for you, actually, in this breathing, you just need to surround yourself in chocolate, and that will actually make you feel better. That is actually what you need. You need the chocolate visualization. Yeah, totally. I think that's perfect.
Big bubble of chocolate. Big bubble of chocolate. Yes.
Amazing.
Thank you, Anne. That's really good. So I was nice and calm, but now I'm actually just visualizing chocolate. So, thank you very much. So Jacob, whilst that was going on, thank you. You were joining in as well. What was going on in the chat while that was? I think people were possibly not doing the chat at the time because they were joining in. But the people that weren't joining in, what were they? What did they want to share with us?
Well, Rochelle said that their dog kept interrupting, trying to do that exercise, and couldn't quite understand why Rochelle wasn't talking to him. So understandable. I mean, I wonder what goes through our pets' minds when they see us doing all these sorts of things. They must think we're absolutely bonkers.
Absolutely. They must, totally, yes.
But I did have a lot of support for my cake. Francesca said it was a lovely cake. Boss said it will probably taste fabulous, which I do hope so after this. I'm glad I didn't eat it before that, because that would have been a mistake. Lucy said I did very well. Raphael said I should be proud of whatever I make. And Shauna said it's not about what it looks like. Remember, it's about what's on the inside and how it tastes, which sounds more like a life lesson than something about cakes. I like to think about that.
I think that's a really important life lesson. Absolutely. Oh, and I can see Meg is trying to get in on that life lesson, and she was joining in as well. She's quieting down. She was obviously trying to get things. That was actually a very good cue, because Jacob was just saying about people saying that our pets think we're completely off our trees and bonkers, Lorna. So I know you're here to talk to us about Meg and how she actually joins in with you, joins in, helps you with your study and your work, not always, sometimes hinders you. Tell us a little bit about Meg. She looks perfect at the moment.
Oh, she can't understand why people sit and watch boxes of light all day because it seems the most bizarre thing to do. So what she's really good at doing is reminding me to take little screen breaks. So she'll pop up when I'm in the midst of a meeting. Like I could be interviewing somebody. I've been doing that, a lot of that recently. So interview for a job, having to warn them that maybe a dog appears partway through, but it usually breaks the ice if it happens. It doesn't actually happen all that often. So she helps to keep things informal, which is quite good, and to make sure that there's nice breaks in my day, and I physically get up. So if there's a meeting at lunchtime, there's going to be a little nudge about 1:45 to say that meeting should finish. And sometimes she'll appear on screen to let everybody know that the meeting should finish, which is usually quite welcome. Yeah, isn't it, Meg?
Yeah, there you go. We're talking about you, Meg. Oh, I'm sorry, we're boring you. Oh, that's it. No, we're obviously very boring. Now, apparently, Ethan says his kitten interrupts quite a lot. And Laura was also saying that actually, so this is actually something for you, Anne. Laura said how good that was, and she's going to use that kind of the yoga ideas for study breaks. So it might be some people use yoga and breathing for study breaks. Some people might use their study buddies. Now, study buddies, we talked about it. I know we've got some photos of study buddies as well. Hopefully, have we got some photos of study buddies? So we can obviously, we've got Ximena's. Yeah, we have got some photos of study buddies, which is great.
Oh my God.
So you should be able to see some of them on the screen, and they're ones that different people who are. So most of the time we often have four-legged, two-legged, three-legged.
Sally?
But I can see Ximena's trying to get her study buddy to come and join. No, that's it. No, you're not interesting. But study buddies are anyone that helps you study. You'll actually see in the pictures, one of the study buddies was actually a beautiful orchid that one of the students sent in, because they actually said, you know what? The gardening, the focus on that kind of thing, that's what really helps me. And I think the cat in the bottom right-hand corner is probably a little bit like Meg when she's trying to get you to do the study breaks, Lorna, and say, no, stop looking at the box of light. So if you have got study buddies, we love seeing pictures of study buddies, so you can email them through to us. You'll see the email address will come up in the chat and maybe even on the screen. And because I can never remember, I think it's studenthub@open.ac.uk. I should know by now. I've only been doing this 5 years. Yeah, Jacob's nodding for me. Yeah, I'm being told off by the knight because apparently, the knight wants you to see his study buddy. His study buddy is actually called Colin.
Wow. I love
Colin
him.
the cauliflower. Is apparently is very helpful for night school. And Colin's eyes are flashing quite well on the screen. So yeah, Colin is very good. So can be anything. And yeah, that's great. So if you've got study buddies, again, we're talking about hobbies. We're talking about things that help you study in a nice little low key way, really. So Peter says he's going to use cake for study breaks, and Rochelle saying my dog is great at making me aware it's time to go for some fresh air. Yeah, absolutely. I'm a I'm a fresh air person, even if I can't speak. You know, we were talking about English being your first language. You wouldn't know English was my first language, would you? I seem to be completely incapable of doing things. So actually, Francesca was saying to us, thinking that study buddies were actual humans. Well, they can be, absolutely. So sometimes study buddies or student buddies can be humans. There's somebody else you talk about, but often, I mean, I like having my furry study buddy. He's refused to come and help this evening. My Toby, my tabby study buddy, because he thinks that he doesn't want to be in front of the. He may appear in a bit, but it's a bit like Meg. He does come and shout at me in the background, or he does one of the things. I don't know whether Meg ever does this in meetings. Toby will sometimes just vomit gently behind. Well, not gently.
Oh, no.
He will just vomit behind me.
Horrible.
The light's just checking. Yeah, no,
Oh, no.
The light's just checking to make sure there's no little piles of vomit. Don't think there's been any at the moment, but that's good. So, Grace, I know we've been hearing you've been getting involved all the way through, and you talked about your people and the gaming, and we talked about how much we talk about games. Grace was one of my students. I can't remember. Was it last year, Grace, in an access course?
It is.
I lose track of time.
So I literally just finished the course in June, just gone, June or July, I think. I can't quite remember when I got the certificate, but yeah. So very recently.
Great. And I think I can't even remember how it came up, because we were supposed to be talking about access and the thing, but we ended up talking about games, and I knew that it was something that you found really helps you, doesn't it? Both electronic games and board games. Oh, I think the Knight wants to join in. I think he wants to help with some games. So what's he going to do? I think he's got some cards. Okay, we're going to talk games. I think. Okay, right. No. Yeah, not working.
Which card game? There's too many.
Yeah, which card game? Yeah, I think an unsuccessful card game. Okay, we're giving up. Okay, right. Okay, I'll get back to you, Grace. We'll give up on the card game. I think with the Knight. I don't think that's working too well. So tell us a little bit about how do you find gaming helps you when you're trying to focus on study or work? Because I know that you're actually working now as well.
Yes. Well, like, I think I used to use it when growing up for some sort of escapism, but as I've gotten older, in my old age of 25, I would say it's more of an outlet of whether, because games in general are just so varied in either they're more competitive, difficult, so kind of punishing, but you want the challenge, or then there's the more relaxed sort of game. It really depends on your mood, and I find that either for some reason I'm feeling frustrated with something I'm doing, so I want to play more of a fighting game in terms of like video games, or if I go for a more relaxed moment in video games, I would play something called Stardew Valley. Best game, my favorite game. So relaxing, and it's just kind of doing day-to-day tasks and checking in on the villagers. It's great. Or in terms of like board games, there's what I love about it. I mean, it's all thanks to my dad. My dad, he's kept me going through it all. He kind of showed how varied they can be rather than just the classic, Monopoly. Not really my thing. As well as, even just Rummy. There's massive scope there, and you can either play it as a competitive thing, which I know between the Knight and yourself, Isabella.
I know.
Can be quite.
Absolutely. He wants to be competitive. He heard that you mentioned fighting games, and he's going, that is his bag entirely. That is his people.
Oh, he's for it. He's ready already.
For it.
So,
yeah, absolutely.
So there's obviously the more competitive side, or then there's the more cooperative side, and it could be in a more.
Okay.
I would say life-threatening sometimes, which can be very stressful. So it depends on who you're playing with. Such as like there's Pandemic.
Oh yeah, no, we don't mention that game, do we?
Yeah, no, you're not a fan. I know you're not a fan. But there's there's also a game
we can't play the game.
I can understand if you. My family in general is quite more. We want to try and figure out how to solve a problem together, and that's how we kind of take it. But depending on who you're playing with, it can be quite stressful, like the people you're playing with. So, for instance, my dad, towards my sister, is always like, you need to do this, you need to do this, or to even my mum. And then they're like, kind of like uppity because they're like, don't attack me. Rightly so, but so you have to pick who you're playing with.
You do. But good point. Picking who you're playing with and picking your battles and all that. We've got a number of people. Some people saying chess. There's the Knight says chess. Definitely says he likes the idea of chess. Backgammon. We've got somebody into Charisse is into backgammon. So it's Hans Joachim with chess. Janine loves Assassin's Creed. Francesca says Minecraft. Crumbs. She's been playing
chill
Vault Hunters
until the creepers come.
Oh, see, I've seen the film. Was it
There's a film?
Or was it something else? Have I got the wrong one? There was a film of a video game. I'm completely hopeless. I don't know what it was.
There's so many game movies.
Oh, Warcraft,
I don't
World of
know.
Warcraft, that was it. Wrong game.
be fair,
Sorry, I'm so sorry. I'm
it's a
just a bit hopeless with that.
good film. Good film.
Good film. Yeah, it was all right.
Basically, Dawn of the Apes or whatever, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes or whatever it is. Apparently, they're very much the same film at this point. It's like,
Probably. I'm not sure. Oh, Hogwarts Battle is a great playing together game, says Hannah. Have you played that one? Have you ever heard of
Yes,
that one?
it is.
You
It's a
have?
very good game. I do recommend
lovely.
that one. It can be very difficult, but
Can it?
definitely worth it.
Okay, I think the knight was a bit worried about a difficult game. I don't think that was something he was. No, not is that nodding. It's not good, or nodding. It is good. Nodding, you can no bad. We can't do difficult games. It's particularly on a Friday night. It's just no. Wants easy games. Definitely wants
That's
easy
fair.
games. And actually, we've oh no, he's thrown his dice down. He was gonna try and play
no.
some dice for you, Grace, but he's just no. You mentioned competitive games, and he said. But he can't actually fight you.
The dice have gone.
So,
The dice have been rolled.
The dice have been rolled. I'd just like to point out. I don't know whether anybody can see it. That was a 1. The knight is not going to win with a 1.
That one.
I think he's
failure.
going to try and pretend. It's just not good. And actually, just so we did have a question from Charisse who wanted to know whether the flag was knights in white satin about never getting to the end, which is not good for no you student. Thank you, Charisse, for that one. I actually think that was probably you, Jacob, because I know your kind of humour, and that's the kind of thing that you normally sneak in. Oh, okay. We're getting told, hurry up. No, it's very distracting.
I'm sorry.
So,
Took your time.
it's very bad. Oh, Cards Against Humanity, and a game called Exploding Kittens. Yeah, have you played Exploding Kittens?
Oh my god, Exploding Kittens, very good.
Yeah, there's various different ones like that. I don't like it because I like the Study Buddies, so I don't like the name of it because there's kittens in a blender as well, which I don't like the name of.
That's also actually a really good game.
It's really confusing, isn't it? You have to. But you just put other people's in. I can't remember. This is the problem. You forget things. And we're talking about things. This is the thing. We're talking about social things. Games. So games can be competitive. Games can be fun. Baking can be fun. Study buddies can be fun. Exercise can be fun. It's different things. I'll come back to it in a minute. So Jacob, I know I blamed you for the Knights in White Satin joke there. But what else has been going on? Is there more? I think there is more love for games going on in the chat.
Oh, there is so much love for games in the chat. It's absolutely brilliant. This is my territory. I mean, baking and cooking. Vanessa's amazing. Not something I can do well, but when it comes to games, that's where I light up. Francesca was saying about Minecraft as well. That's my ultimate game to chill out. Just do some farming, watch how the villagers are doing. All amazing. We're talking about Alex says board games as well. So Monopoly, Scrabble, Cards Against Humanity. Rochelle has some friends visiting this week and says they have some great board and card games. Some of our favourites, and I'll take these as suggestions, are Othello, Forbidden Island, and Organ Attack. I haven't heard of those, but this is the good thing about
Forbidden Island's a good one.
There we go. I like the suggestion. This is what Student Hub Live is for me. It's what I'm going to do on the weekend is look up all these games.
Yeah, absolutely.
But there's also a students' gaming group. So if you are one of these people like me who lights up when we talk about board games, video games, I'll post the link as well because we can meet up afterwards maybe and have a good session.
Yeah, so we're supposed to be doing a social, but it's basically a Jacob's get more people to come and play games with me, isn't it?
That's it. That's all I'm after.
Yeah, I do. So you know how the knight was telling me we were going to be running out of time soon. I've been told it's almost time to call it a night. It's not quite time to call it a night, but oh dear, I think that's a clap. Yeah, and I'm with you on the head and hands on that one. Apparently it was a producer joke there. So there you go. I think Anyway, so we've gone. So I know we've done some serious things tonight. So we've been talking. Actually, I always in all Student Hub Live sessions, I always mention that I know we have lots of students with disabilities, with all sorts of disabilities. And one of the things about Anne's yoga is that I know we sort of mentioned it because you mentioned about your bad back. You may think that you can't do some of the more energetic things like Ximena's dancing, but Anne, if you've got any kind of disability, it's still possible to do some of the yoga, isn't it? Even if you're in a
Oh,
seating and you
yes.
can't get up and so on.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. All of these things that I was doing, you could, twist like this, for instance. And you can, if you've got movement in your arms, you can move them up and down, even if you're seated in a position. And when I had a bad back, I could barely move myself from side to side, and so I just did it just a little tiny bit, and then gradually it started easing off. So yes, there's always things that you can do just to keep yourself kind of moving and just make yourself feel better. There's always something there that you can do, and just
And I
moving
think
your
that
body helps your mind.
Absolutely. And that's a brilliant link to what I was going to talk about, helping your mind. And I know we have a number of students. We have people with anxiety, we have students with depression, and often these ideas, the reason why we wanted to talk about hobbies. So we're being silly some of the time, but we're being quite serious with some of the things as well, because these hobbies do help you with your mental health. I know first person for me, obviously I'm involved with Mr. Knight in the background. He does happen to be next to me. In case you hadn't worked it out, it's on a different screen, but he is still here. Yeah, there you go. You can see the hand. Oh, as if by magic, there he is in the background. At least he hasn't poked me with a sword. He threatened to poke me with a sword, but he hasn't. But actually, being outside, I mean, he's not demonstrating the gardening. I didn't give him a fork because I thought that was just going to be way too dangerous to have a fork, because I might stab people with it. But things like that, the being outside. So like Lorna saying with Meg, going out for a walk, going out for a run with Meg, and where Ximena's saying doing the exercise, it's the mental, and also the planning bit. And actually sometimes a number of our students have neurodiversities, and the planning aspect of that can actually be really helpful, because sometimes you just don't know where to go. So I know I'm not saying that it's necessarily the same thing, but sometimes the idea, I know, Vanessa, when we talk about planning for cakes, those idea of the stages can really help you just get your head in the right place, can't it? Not saying that it's the same. Yeah, absolutely. And I think all of these things are really useful. Apparently Shelley Larissa says to us, this has been a night to remember. Go on then. I'll come back to Jacob to see if we've got any more dodgy ones. Absolutely, we'll probably get the little bit of a drum beat again in there. You'll see that there is a feedback. So this has been the third of our fresher sessions. We had the Welcome to the OU on Tuesday. We had the Becoming a Confident Academic Learner on Thursday, which was yesterday, and this is our social, but social with a little bit of a rain of some thinking about things helping you forward. We've got a feedback form, so if you could fill that in, we'd be very, very grateful for you, because it helps us inform our other sessions. So Jacob, so actually no, before Jacob, come to Jacob, apparently the widget is ready to show about the most effective, and exercising. It looks like exercising is the most effective hobby. Oh, it's beating out eating. Oh, really? But playing games is also up there. I'm thinking the eating chocolate bit. I have actually, I'd just like to point out, I have actually got some chocolate here. Chocolate and cake. And no, can I point out, this is not me that's done this. That was Mr. Knight trying to eat it earlier, where it just went everywhere. But Jacob, I said I was going to come to you. So what kind of last things other than dodgy jokes have we got that we want to finish up with from the chat tonight?
Well, I don't think we can avoid the dodgy jokes. That's just what half the chat is at this present moment. But a lot of people, Kelly says, it's been really great. Lovely to hear about everyone's study plans and hobbies. And everyone's a lovely bunch of people. Lucy says, thank you guys for today. It's been fun. Anthony, I like this one, says, thank you for tonight, and next time Anthony will have cake ready. So I'm really glad to hear that we've made an impression. Holly said, everyone's so nice and glad I joined. And it's just been brilliant to chat to everyone, because everyone has been so nice. It's been great having you share your hobbies, your thoughts, just introducing yourselves, being part of the student community. And if you didn't join in the chat and just sit back and relax, it's great to have you join us as well. So everyone who's watched, it's been brilliant. And as always, I'm really looking forward to chatting to everyone next time, and hope you can join us again.
And I think Jacob's looking forward to more people in his gaming group, which actually, Grace, you probably want to find out. You want to go into the chat later and find the gaming group as well. So we're getting people. Laura's saying that she really came. So she wasn't a new student, but she enjoyed the social last year. So she came for so much fun. Probably a little bit different. I think it was probably a quiz last year. I think might have done it a little bit different tonight. Holly said she's so glad she joined in because everybody was so nice. Shelley Lewis has said it's great because oh no, Auntie Boss, no, not Shelley, made me feel part of the community. Yeah, we're very much about community. So I'm very grateful for my guests tonight. Thank you, Anne, and thank you for leading us in the exercises. Ximena, thank you for showing us about the tango dancing. Laura, thank you for showing us Meg, who is either lying down or has wandered off again. Vanessa, thank you for showing us your cakes and giving the great ideas there. Oh, Mr. Knight wants to show that he's at night school and he's got his OU mug with his cup of tea, which I think might have gone cold by now. And thank you, Grace, for coming along and telling us about the game. So it's been great having everybody here tonight. We've had some fantastic things, and I've been told that I need to finish with this. Good night, all.
Good night.